All right, blue-red Jaya. So people are probably familiar, if you've watched the channel, that a lot of the decks we play are viewer-submitted decks. This deck isn't just this was a viewer-submitted archetype. So I had someone submit a build-around request asking, hey, could we build a deck that could maybe leverage Jaya Ballard in an efficient way? And this is my attempt to try and do that. So we are a blue-red control mid-range spells style deck that I've tried to leverage Jaya's things in a couple different ways. Hey, Two Hats, thanks for the Prime support. Welcome. Thanks for shipping me your Bezo bucks. So first things first, Jaya curves really nicely into Niv-Mizzet, because if you play Niv-Mizzet with Jaya in play, you can draw 3 cards immediately and start shooting things with Niv. Second is that Expansion, Explosion, and Immolating Inferno, these X spells, are a way to utilize her plus efficiently as well as her emblem efficiently. And then if I want to play Immolating Inferno, I need some more legendary cards in my deck so I can consistently be casting Immolating Inferno. So I've got Sarkhan, which also helps with Niv, so I added some Skarrgan Hellkites, and then Karn's just kind of a generically good card. Let's see how it goes. Blue-red control, spells style thing. Got some genuinely good cards, got some synergy going on. Go ahead and dive in and see how things feel. Things are freaking out today, by the way. It's pretty great to have 1,600 people in here almost, even with the bigger event going on today. I'm probably gonna take next Friday off because, I'm gonna take Friday off in the afternoon. I'll probably stream during the draft portion of the Mythic Championship, but probably. Yeah, I saw that, Bob. The problem with an extension like what he has is that it's very rigid, and this is why I haven't programmed anything better or paid anyone to program something better for mine, is I want people to be able to give me money in whichever way they prefer to give me money to add decks to the queue, and setting up an extension like that restricts it to just doing bits. Whereas I want people to be able to donate dollars via PayPal or sub gifts or anything else. What's happening that big today? They are doing a large stream at the Toy Wiz Fair or something like that. Basically, the number one rule of good business, in my opinion, is that you should make it convenient for people to give you money in whichever way they prefer to give you money. Why lead with Sulfur Falls there? Because it doesn't matter. Ooh, Sailor of Memes. Alright, how much damage is this Sailor about to deal? Well, thanks, Soxin. I should have scryed during my upkeep, I guess. Am I jamming Jaya here, or am I just hanging tight? Do you have to report PayPal donations as income? Yep. You report all the money you make as income. Uncle Sam needs his cut. Taxes on all of it. Yeah, it's very possible I shouldn't tap out there. The fact that they had Negate, though, actually makes me feel better about tapping out, because even if they played Teferi this turn, they'd still be able to hold up Negate the following turn. You're technically even supposed to report income from your crimes on your taxes, yep. So I could flip this and then start drawing cards sooner, but I'd rather not burn this treasure to flip this. That treasure is going to turn into an extra card draw later. Yep. Yeah, the eyes on cards are new this patch. Probably dead here game 1. Post board, we might be okay from a position like this, but we have so many dead cards in our deck here that we might be... I guess if I can find my way into a Sarkhan or a Jaya, we might be okay. Yeah, really, if I could find something legendary this turn and then blaze out Teferi. Especially with the treasures and stuff going on. Second shock lets me kill Teferi here, thanks to Sailor of Memes. That's a very good draw. I forgot we had a big boy in our deck.
Don't make another move.
Sailor's just a ramp spell, Bob. And it makes a treasure, which turns into a card draw with treasure map. So it just accelerates us in a color that generally doesn't have acceleration. So like Sailor enables turn 5 Niv, it enables turn 4 Jaya, etc. And just value. It's also good against aggro, correct?
That didn't pan
out. Yes. Look at all your really good confirmation prompts, Magic Arena. Look at those. Are you sure you want to play this for 0? Are you sure you want to target your Niv? I was sure, but I really appreciated asking. Just truly, genuinely appreciate it going, hey, are you sure this was your intention? Docs, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. There's a lot of great people who could ship that Prime too. Thanks for shipping it here this month. You know, with 4 Nivs in our 75... we might have a pretty good shot in a matchup like this. I think we're kind of puttering out here against their search for Azcanta, but I feel like as far as like sets of 3 go, we probably have an okay shot here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pack it in for this game, but post board when we get some counter spells of our own, we should be pretty reasonable here. I get extra Niv, some more threats, negates and disdainful strokes. Probably don't want Immolating Infernos. Maybe I don't want the Rekindling Phoenix. Actually, Hellkite's probably a little bit slow, right? People don't play Field of Ruin because it comes at a very real cost. Like, look at this deck. This deck is like trying to cast triple blue, triple red cards. Like, yeah, that's true. Thief of Sanity is a reason to leave these cards in for sure. Trim Sailor. Maybe I should just trim both Sailors and leave a couple of shocks in. It finishes off Teferi and it kills Thief of Sanity. I think I like that. Rozkaz, thank you very much for the very generous tier 2 sub. My tier 2 subs support me a little bit extra. Should be sure you get a little bit extra back. Be sure to take a peek at my deck queue and let me know which deck you'd like to bump up. Hey, thanks for coming back for the 2nd month in a row, Captain. Welcome, welcome. Let's do this. I really like, and this is one of the reasons, the sideboard Thief plan is one of the reasons why I have Rekindling Phoenix in my sideboard, because Rekindling Phoenix is a proactive card that also blocks their thieves should they have them. Jaya, 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 Jaya. I think I actually keep this. I think Jaya's good enough in this matchup that, like, if the first one gets countered, I want another one. Jayatron. Tron, a Tron, oh, it's a Tron. The opponent is ranked 141. in for a land. Yep. You tried auto chess? Nope, haven't tried auto chess. Cat's Fiend, thanks for the tier 2 sub. Welcome. So, if I scry here, I get a better chance at finding Shock. However, if I don't scry and I draw Phoenix, I can cast Phoenix this turn. So I think I'm just supposed to draw because I can cast Phoenix for the turn. And like, obviously it feels bad when we miss, but I think that's right. There was a Shock in those cards too. Feels bad, man. Our hand was definitely not well set up to deal with Thief of Sanity. Yeah, we tried to play the red-white land destruction deck again, and it was just really terrible. Was not happy with the things that it was doing.
A lick of my... I don't need this. I need this.
Okay, that's pretty good. See if they have a Vraska's Contempt here. Yep.
A dragon would rather die than lose.
Yep, there's one less Contempt for a dragon. And if they have a Mortifier of Vraska's Contempt to kill my Niv-Mizzet, I'll be able to draw with Treasure Cove as well to deal the second point of damage to this Thief of Sanity. And then maybe we can claw our way back into this game. Yep. Perfect. I think I just pass here. Because if they cast an instant or sorcery, I then want to crack my Treasure Cove so I can kill their Thief of Sanity. Yeah, Thief of Sanity is not great against the Gates deck. It, like, randomly mills Colossi for you and other things. No blocks on the 5/5. So, like, next turn, the Thief should be dead, right? Because I get to... So I assume this is... They're dancing here like this. So the reason why I didn't... Yeah, so this happens... Well, that ain't that wonderful. Why is Jaya looking awkward here? See, I actually think Jaya looks quite wonderful here. Jaya looks great. Why is she awkward? She's fantastic if I get her down with Niv-Mizzet in play. So it's like so recycle through the extra cards in my hand and like mow down their board. Andrew Benson, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. Welcome. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way. At least we don't have to worry about the Skarrgan Hellkite ticking, At least we don't have to worry about the Skarrgan Hellkite dealing damage to us, which is nice. So I get to Niv-Mizzet here. And then I get to hold Negate up as well. I'm going to 1 here. She has an ultimate. Yeah, she doesn't have a minus. She has an ultimate. Hey, Cleo, thanks for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. All right. What am I playing around by not blocking? Their creature's a 5/5. I don't want to trade my dragons. I think I want to leave Treasure Cove up here. Can we just, like, appreciate Jaya here for 30 seconds? Can we appreciate what she's doing? Pour one out for our gal. She's doing wonderful things for the squad. Go. Rummage 3 bolt shoot, yep. That was kind of a tough one, right? Like they had Thief that went unchecked and hit us a couple of times. Like, that was great. I think I want more shocks on the draw since we confirmed that they have Thief of Sanity and they're boarding it in, which I guess makes sense. Most of these decks have that. I'm gonna trim a Stroke and a Hellkite, I think. Let's give that a try. And, like, Shock is just, like, fine, too, because, like, after they down-tick a Teferi, you get to Shock it to clean that up. And, like, Teferi's down-ticking to, like, tuck your Niv a non-zero amount of the time. Or, like, tuck your Jaya. I think you'd rather replace Dark Confidant with Tireless Tracker than something like Dice Whisperer. Yeah, this is fine. Again, like, we've talked about this a lot on stream before. When you're playing against a Thought Erasure deck, you generally just want to keep almost anything. Because if you mulligan looking for better spells, they're just going to Thought Erasure you and take your better spells away. So, like, anything close to playable, keep. That being said, if they don't have Thought Erasure and they have a Thief of Sanity quickly, yep. So, and again, just like, that's why Thief of Sanity is so good in these decks, is because situations like this where you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yep. Probably just gonna die without getting to play Magic here, but that's just kind of how Magic goes sometimes. I'm content with the hand that I kept. Yep. I like to imagine that every single one of Beetle's total bits donated is from $1 messages. A lot of them are. Karn's Temporal Sundering. I think that card's probably worse than just playing Nexus of Fate, right? What's the upside that it has? Can bounce a thing. Nah, that's probably worse than just playing Nexus of Fate. All right. Lava Coil into Sailor of Memes against aggro is probably going to be pretty good. We'd have had a real shot on the play. We might be a touch slow on the draw here. We'll see. If they have Judy here as a follow-up, we're probably going to get run over. You ever thought of alternatives to Magic's mana system? Many card games have tried to rearrange it. Sure, there's a lot of other games that do interesting things with the resources. One of the great things about Magic is its resource system. The resource system in Magic, while it leads to frustrating non-games sometimes, it also leads to many incredibly good games of Magic. The reason why deck building is so intricate and deep in Magic is because of its resource system. Any tip for someone considering getting into streaming as far as building a foundation? Streaming, much like many things in life, being successful at Twitch streaming has to do with a lot of things that are just outside of your control. If you think you would enjoy streaming, you should just do it. There's a lot of great things that you could be doing, and just if you think you'll have fun casting your games, just start doing it. Jaya into Hellkite into Niv is interesting. It's possible I should have Lava Coiled the Fireblade artist as opposed to the Gutter Bones because Sailor could block Gutter Bones. Hopefully we really want to draw a red removal spell next turn, like a Lava Coil or a Shock. Hey, Giants, thanks for the Prime, I appreciate it. I like how they're like pausing to read Jaya, like, nope, yep, definitely don't need to attack her. Alright, so I think I start by binning just 2 cards here and see where we end up at. Chance we get burned out here. Hey, Chief Chauncey, thanks for the sub-train, folks. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. You can send those Bezo bucks to every month. Thanks for sending them my way today. We didn't add mana to cast Niv-Mizzet because that's not what Jaya's text box says. We're probably just gonna get burned out here. No, MTGO doesn't have a rules engine. Yeah, I think I messed up on turn 2, and this is one of the things that makes Magic so difficult to get better at, is that I messed up this game on turn 2, and it's now turn, you know, whatever turn we are, and we're still playing Magic, right? Alright, so what do I want to do here? It's definitely just Niv-Mizzet fire off the Jaya bolts, right? Yes, I guess it's only a shock here. But I get to do this, which kills Fireblade Artist. I think we'd be in a much better spot if I hadn't killed Gutter Bones on 2, but instead killed this. But we might still have a real shot here. Your first time out as a sub, of course. We would never deny someone the full Hooglandian experience here. Alright, so this is a pretty easy trade for us here. Because next turn, I minus Jaya and then kill Judy and their thing, or plus Jaya. Oh, they killed that. That's so good for me. Are we en route to stabilization? It feels like we're heading towards stabilizing, chat. I don't want to like get ahead of ourselves just yet, but it feels like we might be heading towards stabilization.
Are you certain of your decision?
Hey, Night Stars. Thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. With Shock, I could probably just attack this turn, right? And then they should be dead next turn. Actually, I probably shouldn't attack because they should be dead next turn regardless, but... Yes, I have an appointment to be pinkified tomorrow morning. This Inferno is about to be on flavor. I agree. So this is X is 9. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Have a sword. They did. I went to mod you, and you had been slaughtered too quickly. Never didn't have it. Well, that was pretty sweet. All right, so we want to trim some of our slower, clunkier cards to bring in things like Fiery Cannonade here. Can we pour one out for Sailor of Memes for that win, by the way, though? Like, this card single-handedly won us that game of Magic. It was very... All right, Lava Coil helped a little bit, but this card was pretty instrumental there. Is the Oratog. Thank you for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Yeah, it turned forward the Jaya too, right? Which just kind of churned through our deck at an absurd rate. Do I want Rekindling Phoenix as a blocker in this matchup? I think I do, actually. Let's try this. Do I eat Chipotle at all? What kind of question is that? Questioning my loyalty to Chipotle. Chipotle is wonderful. This hand's got curves, chat. 2, 3, 4. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Curving Sarkhan out the door. 5, 6, 7, 8. Do. Any more details on the sub-tournament? Nope. As soon as I have details on the sub-tournament, I'll have it posted. Life's been busy. Still playing catch up. All my recent hours have gone to figuring out. It took a while to find somewhere that would color my beard pink. Apparently, the chemicals that they use to color hair on your head pink, you can't use on the beard. So most salons don't do beard colorings.
I'll show you unhinged.
Think we're dead? Listen, we time out nonsense in this chat. Like, Qdoba's better than Chipotle. Don't spread misinformation. Where do you go for your beard then? I found a beauty school, actually, that had the appropriate chemicals to be able to color my beard. Gotta call around. Alright, on to the next one. Any sponsors you take on for just product instead of monetary payment? Yeah, I could probably eat like $200 worth of Chipotle in a month. That's about where my banners start. A beauty school or a clown college? So, not using the Lava Coil on turn 2 when they have 3 threats in play means if they play Judith on turn 3 and then they hit me for 9 that turn, means I've just died. So I need to just hope to draw another removal spell or hope they don't have Judith. How's my wife feel about me having pink hair? My wife loves money. Does that answer your question? Hey, Beetle, thanks for the biddies. If it's a beauty school, does that mean it's free so you can complain when they botch? It's actually cheaper than getting my hair colored in a lot of other places would be. I wonder if I'm nice, get it? I wonder if we're supposed to have a 4th sailor in this deck. There should probably be a 4th sailor in this deck. Sailor seems pretty instrumental in beating aggro. Sure. There's a teamer climb list on my website. It is not. Straight blue-green climb. It's on my website. It's a Sailor of Means deck. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill this. They had Jaya. They had, what's her name? They probably would have played her last turn. So I get to jam this Niv down their throat next turn. Which seems pretty good for us. I think I keep that. Nope. A lot of other good content producers that play Singleton. Standard best of threes, my jam. So that's what we're doing here. I'm not a big fan of playing constructed formats that like have a shelf life. I think that's not good enough. I think I want something that triggers this turn. Like that. That triggers this turn. Oh, the Fiery Cannonade doesn't even hurt the Sailor. The Fiery Cannonade doesn't even hurt the Sailor. What? That's just good deck building, chat. That's just good, clean deck building right there. C-Lab with the brand new Prime support. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate it. This deck, it makes me feel things too, Punchworthy. I concur. Just all the pirate synergies. Please tell me this deck's as good as it looks. What are we, 1-1 now? I think we're 1-1. Okay, we're gonna get more Sailor of Means. Obviously, everybody knows the thing we need to make this deck higher tier is more Sailor of Means. I'm gonna trim the Miser, search for Azcanta. The Immolating Inferno is actually probably a little bit cheeky. I'm gonna trim one of those. It's sweet, but it's definitely cheeky more than anything. Alright, let's dive back in, shall we? Okay, yep, sign me up. Hopefully they're playing something aggressive. This hand is the nuts against an aggro deck, chat. Just the old 1, 2, 3. How many lands you think this hand can get away with at a minimum? I don't know what you mean. Looks like Sultai. I think I'm in for Expansion Explosion against Sultai. I think this deck has an appropriate number of lands at the moment. I don't think I'd play less. Hey, Eaton Tortoise, thanks for the 16 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Have a sword. I haven't seen you play a pure red burn build. Yeah, that's because people generally don't pay to see decks like that played. Both William Jensen and Owen Turtenwald have been playing a good amount of mono red on their streams. If you want to see a good player play that archetype. People generally send money to see sweeter things played, like blue-red Jaya. I think I bin that just to work the graveyard up towards the search flipping. Yeah, I agree. A lot of times people use playing a lot of card selection to play fewer lands, when in reality, I would rather just play more card selection so I can play more lands. So that way, these cards can help me not flood just as much as they can help me not screw. There aren't any mono red players at my local FNM, but there are a couple of blue. Is it crazy to swap Wild Growth Walkers for Harpooners? Not at all. I think I'm actually just going to burn this as a divination here. Just like a draw 2 while they're tapped out. That's excellent, Cloud. That's excellent. Alright, we're 2 cards away from flipping the search for Azcanta, so hopefully we can dodge Vivian. JK, LOL. This is the punishment for using my expansion explosion like I did there. So pretty punishing. Guess maybe I should wait. I don't know. I kind of felt like they'd have played Vivian last turn, but maybe they're just like really trying to get the thieves going.
Break someone like you.
Yeah, I really need to find a Niv-Mizzet like this turn or a shock. Our other expansion explosion would also be good. Yeah, I think maybe I should have held the expansion explosion. Alright, that's pretty good. She's on 2, so big bucks, no ravenous Chupacabra. They get a lot of looks at Chupacabra here. Big Niv energy, yep. If we get to untap with Niv-Mizzet, the game is over, so. Okay. Not the end of the world. I have double Lava Coil. Get to coil the hostage taker, coil the Thief of Sanity. Get to start shooting down their Vivian. If we want to draw another instant or sorcery we can cast this turn. Do I Jaya plus make mana? Yeah, I think so.
Ready for your want to see what a master is capable of?
Shock would have been the best draw on our deck there.
Scars are lessons written in skill.
I'm gonna hold on to this land for now because Jaya can turn it into gas next turn.
I'm not losing.
It's unfortunate that Vivian gets to live though.
Meet my newest friend.
A curious choice.
All right, if they swing and miss on taking Niv off the table here, we probably still win next turn. We're not in a terrible spot though, because like Jaya increases our average card draw quality by an absurd degree here. Just like gives us 3 redraws every turn at meaningful cards. And like even a shock takes their Vivian off the table. And like Niv-Mizzet can kind of go toe to toe with Krasis, all things considered.
Combat requires strategy and impulsivity.
Hey, Wax Papers, thanks for the Prime support, I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good Friday and a good start to your weekend.
I always survive.
What's the best / most consistent deck in Standard? The deck my opponent's playing, Sultai midrange.
You may regret that choice.
Sure. What's her bottom do? You get an emblem with you can cast instant sorceries from your graveyard. Okay, so that means I can recast these expansion explosions if I get there. They only do this for 4. Only doing that for 4 is really good in the face of my Lava Coils. I'm just gonna go ahead and eat a Land War Elf here and let her go to 2. I don't really need her ult.
Come on, men.
Hey, turn 3 card liberated. Thank you very much and welcome back. I appreciate that. Alright, so what am I doing here? I think it's start by plussing her and recycling these 3 lands.
Let's hope for something good.
So this Karn has a hostage taker under it, is the issue. Niv with shock up for hostage taker. Yes. Yes, that's the line. Thank you. Shock is very, very good with Niv.
Nothing is ever truly lost.
So they hostage taker. In response to its trigger targeting Niv, I shock the hostage taker. And if they have a way to interact with this, they then can't recast the Niv, and I can untap and Lava Coil it next turn. Yeah, I had opt-in here originally, but I'd rather just have shock for instance like this, where I just really want to impact the board. Are we just going toe-to-toe with all their card advantage? It feels like we're just going toe-to-toe with all their card advantage, huh? Alright, what's their Karn at? Their Karn's at 7? Let's just kill that this turn.
Please stop.
Please stop!
Oh yes, this will do nicely.
This is disgusting.
I will return.
I'm gonna play this as a 5/5 and then play treasure map. That is my Karn from their Thief of Sanity. That is correct. Alright, I have a runner-up for the deck of I have an early lead for deck of the day for today. That was fantastic. Chugga chugga choo choo. Yeah, Niv and Jaya just don't mess around. This was so For people that aren't familiar, this is a build-around deck submission. So someone sent in a $25 donation and said, hey, will you build a deck based on Jaya Ballard? I said, yeah, that sounds fun. And this is my attempt to build a deck based on Jaya Ballard to optimize what she does. I think I trimmed some Sailor of Means in this matchup. How do you feel about Karn? Karn's probably a little medium. I don't have great ways to defend him. Try this configuration. Do I want Disdainful Stroke? I probably want some Disdainful Strokes, huh? Let's try this. Huck Bear, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Is Star good against Gates? Nah, I'm not sure that I believe you. That Star is good against Gates. It's definitely fine in this matchup. Am I just killing their thing? Yeah, I think so. I think I just want to, like, not die early here. My hand's kind of slow. Fantastic. Is Shock better than Shivan Fire? Yes, because Shock can be used proactively to trigger Niv-Mizzet, which is a big deal. It also can be used to finish off Planeswalkers like Teferi. So I think Shock is much better than Shivan Fire in this deck, when you consider how it interfaces with Niv-Mizzet.
Ballard, let's tear this place apart.
Alright, so this is going to be a 4-4 with haste to smack into her. This is a card I've been really impressed with. Skarrgan Hellkite's super powerful.
Meet my newest friend.
The Jaya's Inferno is definitely cheeky and cute. It could probably better as something else. The expansion explosions are probably fine as X spells. Can you explain why they don't work the same as Niv? Because Shivan Fire can't target players or planeswalkers, and Niv-Mizzet wants you to be able to cast your spells, so a card that's castable without a restriction is better because you're always going to be able to cast it and trigger your Niv-Mizzet. I think I'm just cycling all of these. We're probably dead here. Actually, it's funny. Jaya's Inferno is actually the card that kind of gets us out of this situation, right?
The belligerent needs her crew.
You can't stop nature.
Probably a little bit too far gone. Did I sideboard out the Inferno? Genuinely don't remember. I very well might have. I think we're up a creek without a pedal here. Without a Star of Extinction to draw to. Yeah, a couple of stars. I think bringing in Star against the Gates deck is some hot nonsense, but bringing in Star in a matchup like this is probably not unreasonable. It's also possible that a couple of copies of Sorcerous Spyglass could be okay in the sideboard for Planeswalkers. This deck doesn't have good ways to interface with Teferi, really, other than attacking it, or the opponent's Planeswalkers, so having ways to proactively shut them down is probably not bad. Yeah, you can target your own Niv with Fire in a pinch. One of the upsides to having Niv-Mizzet in your control deck, though, is that Niv-Mizzet allows you to get aggressive to close games out when you need to, which means the fact that Shock can deal 3 damage to them with Niv means that you race much better than you otherwise would, which I think is a big deal. What's the difference between Ego and Spyglass? Spyglass is a 1-for-1. Spyglass doesn't take the cards away from them and then let them draw new cards with it. So, like, when you play a Spyglass on the Planeswalker that they have in play, you've turned off their Planeswalker and not replaced it with another card. Firemind's research, I think, is much worse than cards like Treasure Map and Search for Azcanta. It takes a while to get set up, and there are a lot of really efficient ways to interact with enchantments in this format that make that card extra bad. Rekindling Phoenix is a great pickup here. If they have a removal spell for this, I'll be able to expansion the removal spell back at their thief. And, like, even if they power through our Niv-Mizzet here at this point, we're going to have a giant explosion next turn that will be valuable. So, like, worst case scenario is, like, another Vivian here, and they don't have that. So, next turn I'm going to kill their board and draw a bunch of cards. Land is exactly what I wanted for Christmas. This game was fantastic. So this is going to get us 4 more Niv triggers here. And then I'm going to have, like, Niv and Phoenix in play still. Is this deck real? This format is so wild. There's so many sweet little things hiding that haven't been explored, it feels like. I feel like Niv's a card that, like, people have, like, set to the side because it didn't really get new tools to work with it. And I really think that there's a lot of good work you can do still. Did you see that the Mythic Championship is going to have digital open qualifiers with the season championship being arena? I did not, Marty. I haven't seen any of the announcements. How do we feel about cutting Karn and putting these Rekindling Phoenixes in the main deck? Does this seem unreasonable? Just like having a bunch of good flying cards? This seems kind of fine, right? Fight with Fire is interesting. Yeah, Fight with Fire is good with Jaya. And, like, we could do, like, Fight with Fire expansion. Yeah, exactly. Like, I bring my good card into the main deck, and then I open up sideboard slots for the other cards I'm interested in having. So I think I want a pair of Spyglasses for the board. And I think I want at least one deal. What's the deal 20? I think I want one of these. One of these seems fine as a catch-up mechanic. This seems pretty reasonable. Nah, I like the one search a lot. I like the one search a lot. This card's like quietly just like the card that ties the clunky mess together. Update the Stream Decker. Yeah, I don't know what I really want to cut for Fight with Fire is the issue. I feel like this isn't good enough. Mass manipulation with Jaya. Huh. That's an X spell I hadn't considered. Huh. That actually doesn't sound terrible. We could probably make 4 blue with some consistency. I'm going to keep this with the asterisk that I understand we're going to lose to aggro. Nah, I don't think I want tapped lands in my deck. Well, so Niv is saying we can cast Niv consistently is kind of cheating because we have Sarkhan to help us cast Niv. So like this filters for us. Oh, Weebagee. Sorry. Oh, they missed their land drop. This game's over. Go ahead and cycle a Jaya here. Oh, they're green-red. Interesting.
A little pain won't stop me.
Looking for, like, shocks and lava coils here. Cheap things to trigger Niv, basically. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted for Christmas, chat.
Are you ready?
Let's just go ahead and do this. It burns the treasures, but, like, it casts lava coil sooner, which then protects my Sarkhan. Okay. I think I'm just gonna I don't know exactly what they're doing. It feels like they probably have big monsters, so Disdainful Stroke's probably reasonable. I think Star's probably too slow. Search for Azcanta is probably too slow too, though, and like having a Niv going is probably unbeatable. And like one of the upsides to this deck is if you get too many of your like legendaries together, like Sarkhan and Jaya both like filter through them very quickly for you. Sure. I don't know exactly how aggressive my opponent's deck is, but on the off chance they're aggressive and just had a bad draw, double shock opener is pretty reasonable. So cards like Enigma Drake and Crackling Drake are cards that tend to be purely aggressive, whereas Rekindling Phoenix is a card that plays defense better. Because I should have played the Mountain so I could hold up double shock here, theoretically. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe there's some kind of teamer mid-range deck. There's a good chance I'm just sideboarded completely wrong here, just because I don't really know what they're doing. Oh, you know what? This is a Frilled Mystic. It's not. Okay, interesting. I think it's a bad idea to ban cards from TGA. I don't understand what you're saying, Digital Dummy. They banned cards in Best of One, which is different than Paper Magic. So you can still play Best of 3 Constructed on Arena with the same ban list as Paper now. I think I'm just digging for a Niv here at this point. Yeah, they could be a Nexus deck. I think I'm in for a 5th land, though. Let's keep that, especially a duel. You can't craft Nexus. That sounds like a bug, and I'd encourage you to report it to Magic Arena. I would like to block. I would like to shock when you Colossus this turn. Alright, so my opponent messed up here a little bit doing this pre-combat, or pre-damage. They should have let damage happen, so I didn't have a chance to shock their thing like that. And Sailor of Means, when you're not ramping up with it, creates another treasure, which lets us draw a card with Treasure Cove, right? So, like, Sailor of Means is a card that are referred to as has a high floor. Even when this card's not stellar, the fact that it can draw a card is still, like, very reasonable for us. No, you cannot regress back to a previous rank. There are rank floors, as we refer to them, where once you get across that line, you can't go back down. I'm still not sure what exactly they're doing, but I'm pretty confident that boarding in the 4th Niv-Mizzet was a good idea. I probably don't have enough counter spells in my deck for this matchup, though. Probably gonna want Negates post-board once we figure out a little bit more of what they're doing. I wonder if they're a Wilderness Reclamation deck. They do not have Frilled Mystic Man up, right? They have 1, 2, 3.
Strike me, and you strike nature.
Generally speaking, is Treasure Map worth counting? The reason why Magic's such a complex and interesting game is because the answer to your question like that is, it depends. It depends on a lot of factors. I think I'm bidding this Lava Coil.
Told me I should do this.
Hey, Big Wang. Big Wing. What's going on? Thanks for the biddies.
I've seen things that would break someone like you.
Nexus is fine in best of 3. It's weaker than it is in best of 1, but that's probably a good thing, so it's pretty obnoxious in best of 1. Well, that's rude. Alright, so looking for a Niv-Mizzet here or some way to start generating card advantage. Although, I've got Rekindling Phoenix here in this Dragon, so maybe we could just run them down. Matt Nass is going to win the PT with Nexus. Very, very possibly. So, do I just, like, play both my flying creatures here? And do I play this as a haste creature? I think I just play this as a haste creature, right? I think we just get aggressive here. Do I put them to 5? Do I put them to 5? Or do I kill Vivian Reed? I guess Vivian kills my dragon. Yeah, I'm gonna kill Vivian because she kills my dragon otherwise. Modal, thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here.
I'll be back. Just like before.
Going wide here is good in the face of a Hydroid Crisis, too. Have a sword to defend the realm modal. Yep. One Niv-Mizzet, please. I have 4 of them. I have 2 draws. Tater Tot Shinobi, thanks for checking in for the 5th month in a row. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yikes. Yeah, I think I needed to draw something meaningful this turn. So if I attack with everything, they eat the Hellkite and they go to 6, which I think is fine for me. They have another Krasis. I'm in a little bit of trouble. But, like, I still have, like, Niv as a good draw. Wait, what? Do they have a sweeper next turn? This block says they have a sweeper of some sort next turn. Yeah, I do technically have lethal on board, but I assume they're going to interact with my stuff here. Still probably need to draw something meaningful next turn. Sure. There's like double Reclamation and then kill me. Actually, single Reclamation attack me for 8 is probably lethal, right? Alright, and again, they just kind of fumbled and died in the first game, so we didn't really know what they're doing. So, like, these Lava Coils are going to be Negates here in a hot second, which will give us a much better chance in this matchup. Yeah, I don't know if they're a Nexus deck, or if they're just an Expansion Explosion deck. Matthew, you're bringing me lunch. I knew you're my favorite. Yep. Maybe the counterspell didn't matter. I don't want to be rude. I want them to be able to draw their cards. Alright, so let's get all these counterspells in my deck. Get these Lava Coils out. Need one more trim here, probably a Sailor. Yeah, they're playing like growth spirals and other things like that. Seems like a really neat build for sure. I think I want to leave the shocks in as just like reach with my Niv-Mizzet and ways to finish off Vivian. Like if they play Vivian down tick, shoot one of my flyers, shock finishes are off, so it's probably worth it. What cards are Spyglass for? Spyglass is made mostly for the Teferi matchup. I don't know if it's good enough to bring it against Vivian here. I don't know how many Vivians they're playing. Like, if I knew they were, like, green-black and had a bunch of Vivians, I think I'd bring it in. But without, like, knowing more about their deck, I don't think I'd bring it in the dark. So, we would really love to draw a Sarkhan in our first 2 draws here, but this hand's definitely a keep. Treasure Map would also be good. I guess Sailor of Means is a good draw, too. Just a way to get Hellkite down sooner. Land drops are like good consolation prizes, so like all those other things I just named. Does expansion copy Nexus? It does not. Expansion only copies cards that cost 4 or less. That card would be busted if it was actual fork. It is not fork. You like potatoes, Rank Tangy. Thanks for the 8-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, lands for the next 2 turns, please. Driving in my dragon, beep beep. And even if they untap and play Vivian next turn, I then get to play my next Hellkite and kill their Vivian, so that seems reasonable for me. Yep.
Would you like to see if that can't help you now?
Oh, do I play Niv or do I Hellkite? I think I'm supposed to play Niv. I'm pretty sad if they have a second Vivian read here. If they don't have a way to take Papa off the table, though, we're going to be in a pretty good spot. They have a basic forest in their Niv-Mizzet deck. That's good for us. I think I just pass here. So, they're obviously missing a color of mana. Do I just Disdainful Stroke this? I think I just Disdainful Stroke this. I guess if they play Niv next turn, I get to play Jaya, cycle through a bunch of cards and shock their Niv, so that's still okay. Maybe that was wrong. This definitely worked out for me.
You can tap. I know what I was doing.
It did get them to use an expansion, which is true.
That's the last hit you'll get in.
The last hit, that is true. That was Niv-Mizzet's last hit there. Oh, Sarkhan would loot. You're super right. You're super right. Sarkhan would have looted and killed the Niv there. Yeah, I should totally Sarkhan loot there. Thank you for pointing that out. That is on 110% the better line. Did we finally claw back into the top whatever? 1100. Look at that. We're out of the percentages. Out of the frying pan and into the fryer. Niv's probably really good at Call of Duty, huh? Did I expect to win this much with this deck? No. As someone who believes honesty is the best policy, no. Am I happy we're winning this much? I am. Deck's kind of sweet. All right, need that wonderful sailor of means. Should you sleeve this up for F&M? 110%. Not close. Do you like fun? Lava Coil is so busted in this format. As the builder on submitter, I thought this was going to be a dumpster fire. Yeah, we're not just dead to Adanto with this build either. The Sailor of Means actually answer Adanto really well. What am I even digging for at this point? Maybe I'm supposed to keep that. It's not a bad hit either. I guess I'm looking for a red land now. Why not wait until you could Lava Coil, expansion Lava Coil? Because I wanted to use my mana that turn, and I wanted to keep my health total high. My deck doesn't have a way to gain life, so keeping my health total high is pretty important, I think. Yeah, we've been winning a lot with this deck today, so I'm actually really excited to play this matchup. So that way I can see, like, you know, do we have chops in some of the potentially harder matchups, or like, are we just like getting lucky and like getting good matchups? I think I'm in for a red source here. Am I dead if I take this? I might just be dead. So I'm getting hit for 4, 7, 8, 9 this turn. But the Phoenix is the cat that comes back. It's gonna block and block and block here. Post board with four Fiery Cannonades, we might be okay. Unbreakable formation. Is that dead? I take 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm not dead yet, but I'm probably dead. I need to draw, like, Sailor of Means. If I draw, like, Sailor of Means plus a Shock, I can, like, block, shock, shock, and then I'm still dead. Yikes. Yep. I think our draw was too clunky there, which is one of the downsides to playing an interactive deck like this, is there's going to be a lot of game ones against aggro decks where you just, like, keep a hand that's good against another control deck and get dumpstered because they weren't playing control. What do we think of this? This seems reasonable. I think Star of Extinction's probably too slow here. Is Negate good enough? I've definitely boarded in Negate in matchups like this before. I wonder if Jaya's not good enough when we'd rather have Negate. Like, countering History of Benalia is, like, very reasonable. This plays defense well. This gets powered out via Sarkhan. And, like, this is a card that can take over the game with activation. So I think I like this configuration. The curve's, like, not unreasonable as well. I think Negate's fine in this matchup. I think Negate hits a lot of cards that we care about. Negating a History of Benalia is, like, not a bad place to be. Sure, just play, like, Jeskai Dragons. You're home. Let me mulligan really quick. Oh, no. Oh, no. Matthew, why are you so unlucky, Matthew? Well, this hand's actually really good if we draw a land, so I'm gonna go let Matthew in because he's brought me lunch. I'll be right back, chat. Sorry, opponent. Sorry, stream. I'm going long today. No, I haven't made extra keys for my new house yet. We've only been here a month, and we actually have to finish rekeying. We replaced the locks, but I haven't keyed them all the same, so my house actually has 2 keys at the moment. It's a little awkward. Land, and we can play Magic. All right. All right. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. It's a little awkward. Well, we're a turn behind. If we'd have hit land 3 on 3 this game, we'd actually be in a pretty good spot. Maybe. Yikes. Yikes. Fiery Cannonade. Fiery Cannonade. Fiery Cannonade. Fiery Cannonade. We put 4 of them in the deck, chat. Fiery Cannonade. Fiery Cannonade. Ugh. If your audio is out of sync, you should refresh. I mean, the land's not the stone cold bratwurst, right? I can go ahead and play this Hellkite and then just start popping people off. It's like, play this as a 5/5. If they don't have a Conclave Tribunal, we could solve a shot here. Niv's casting cost with the Tidetaker out is really funny. This is where they play the formation. Formation and Conclave Tribunal both put us in a little box in the ground, but anything outside of those, we could be okay here. They haven't played the cards that killed me yet, so that bodes well for the hero. So I'm down to 14. And then next turn I can activate the Skarrgan Hellkite and shoot something. Or I could just play the Rekindling Phoenix. Probably better to play the Rekindling Phoenix. Matthew brought me cheese fries, because he's my bestest friend.
Okay, bud.
Matthew likes to feed me when I stream for long days. Alright, so this pops off. I take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Go to 3. Go to 1.
It is good to see you, my friend.
How do you repeat that?
Well, there's 4 copies of Fiery Cannonade in my deck, and I missed my 3rd land drop on 3 this game. Which is like, if I'd have hit my land on 3, we probably would have had a really good shot.
You're in good shape, bro.
I think I'm going to 2 here. Cannonade still gets us out of this. Am I dead? I'm actually not dead on board. No, I am. No, I'm, yeah, I can only block 2, and then, yeah, we're dead. Alright, if we would've had Cannonade on the last turn, we could've had a shot. We could've, like, passed them and played Cannonade. Yeah, Cannonade would have gotten us out of it, for sure. Because I could've Hellkite, killed the Ajani, and then I could Cannonade, I could Phoenix, block the Adanto, and then Cannonade everything else. Back to the percentages. Where are my cheese fries? I need consolation cheese fries,
That's for you,
Matthew.
sweetheart. I made you a
God,
plate.
you made me a plate, too? You really are the bestest. No, I'll post things on Twitter and have a command and a thing in the stream title when I figure out the sub-tourneys. Just haven't had time to sit down and get that kind of stuff done. I was sick the last 2 days. I slept for like 11 hours. I'm going to be muted on and off because Matt and I want to talk crap about chat. I mean, because I want to eat my Portillos, so...
For you, sweetheart.
This stream is in no way sponsored or endorsed by Portillos, but Portillos, if you're out there, it certainly could be. Alright, so... looks like they're probably the Wilderness Reclamation deck. The white source makes me think they're less likely to be on Frilled Mystic, but they still could be. I think I just Jaya here, because I think our best chance to beat this matchup game 1 when we don't have counterspells is to find a Niv-Mizzet ASAP, and Jaya can kind of power us through to finding a Niv-Mizzet.
Are you sure you're ready to face me?
She sees a lot of cards. A lot of cards. Hey, what's going on, darling dearest? I appreciate the 3 months. We actually had kind of a rough run with the Klein deck this morning. A little bit mediocre. If you're having audio sync issues, I'd encourage you to refresh your Twitch stream.
Let's hope for something good.
So I think I'm gonna be greedy and ditch this land. We're probably gonna draw another land. Yeah, look at that, never punished. I want to see as many cards as possible to get to Niv, but at the same time, I want to keep the Hellkites to put the most pressure on without Niv. Yeah, Pirates was great today. Really like Pirates again.
Out with the trash, in with the firebolts.
Listen, I just want the chat to be aware that I'm eating Portillo's right now, which means this Nexus player is gonna have to kill us. Akor, thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Graysoul, thanks for the 7 months in a row. Thanks for keeping me around. Now I'm gonna finish my lunch while they do masturbatory things on screen for you. I need to get one of those birds for my spacebar so I can sit here and eat without having to keep pressing spacebar for done.
God, they're gonna kill you with 2-1-1s.
We're dead, by the way. I understand we're dead. I'm just eating lunch, so
It's a good time for
bear with me for 5 minutes. the Sailors give us a little bit of ramp to play our cards ahead of curve. And they're a brick wall against aggro decks to help you not die when people are swarming you. And the floor on Sailor, which is to say the worst it can ever be, is pretty high. Because it makes a treasure that you can draw a card with treasure map. I mean, I'm currently eating a large cheese fry, so you could kind of argue that I am in fact salting off at the moment. I think there's a strong argument to be made that my cheese fry is salting off. All right, so we're actually going to bring in Sorcerous Spyglass to name Azcanta the Sunken Rune, and then we'll bring in all our counter spells, and that seems good. We'll bring in the last Niv-Mizzet. Sign me up. It's great. Turn 3 Niv on the play. Let's do it. Or turn 4 Niv on the play. Yeah, I had low expectations for this deck, and it's definitely exceeded them. Do I hold this to negate their Azcanta here? I think I do. I'm not going to be activating Treasure Map for a little while anyway, so I might as well just hold Negate up. Yeah, we had the easiest 4-0 of our life with Crystal Brand.
No sword can pierce.
I think I'm just gonna bend this treasure map. I just don't have time to like hold this mana up. This was a build around submission from a viewer. They asked me to build a deck featuring Jaya Ballard, and this is what I put together for them. Welcome to Thunderdome, opponent. Enjoy your stay. If I draw a land next turn, we can Skarrgan Hellkite plus hold up Negate. So, that's pretty good. So it's actually, so Matt, while we were muted, said he thought they had another blink to maybe blink to Sarkhan. So I probably take that to mean they don't have another blink, right? Because if they had another blink, they'd probably send Sarkhan back here. So I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to play Hellkite, hold Negate, or just play Niv. I think because they didn't blink me again, I'm just going to play Niv. And like, obviously they have another blink. You know, maybe things end badly for me here, but like if they don't, like the Niv-Mizzet can win the game very quickly. And then, like, next turn, if I untap with this Niv and, like, have the Negate here still, alright, we could get comboed here. Yay, magic! Yay! Well, chat, I think turn 4 Niv, turn 5 Niv was not going to be good enough. I think we're probably just dead to this this biogenic ooze. Life swell.
Yeah, they don't even have to bounce.
Thanks, Watsy. So, like, last game I was making them click through and we were definitely dead. I don't know that we're definitely dead here yet, so we're definitely going to make them, like, take another turn or two. If they take too long... I can't kill the ooze, chat. I can't kill the ooze. They will just stop casting spells. Alright, is it my turn? I think it's my turn. Alright, look at that. Look at that. We did it. Yay! And this is why, like, when people talk about why is Nexus worse than Mono Red as far as gameplay quality is concerned, it's because of that, right? Like, I won that game, but it wasn't interesting. It wasn't, I didn't think about stuff. I just, like, fumbled around and then they didn't have it. This is probably a matchup where Jaya's not great, huh? Sealer's probably better than her. At least one more there.
Did a great job.
Buffy Slayer, thanks to the Twitch Prime, I appreciate that. Just like, they're just like, aren't really, the games aren't really interesting, which I get is subjective, but like, I think for most definitions of interesting, those games just aren't. That was a sideboard Uzi Sabus. Yeah, this blue red list seems interesting. And picking up a lot of what it's putting down. I like what it has going on. So if they growth spiral here, I'm not going to treasure map, but because they didn't growth spiral, I'm gonna go ahead and get my map down. Sorcerous Spyglass is just good because we don't have better ways. In just blue-red, we don't really have more meaningful ways to interact with things. So we're playing Spyglass in order to be able to interact with things that we otherwise would have a difficult time. Thanks, Buffy Slayer. I appreciate it. Glad to have you here. Please miss a land drop again. Well, I wanted this guy during my upkeep. Magic Arena had other ideas. I guess this is fine, because now I get to put the other treasure map down. Yeah, the problem with mass manipulation is that we really just don't have that many blue sources in our mana base. And the reason why we can cast Niv consistently with the blue sources that we have is because Sarkhan makes extra colors of mana. Looking for more counter spells here, basically. Draw for the turn. We're going to play Rekindling Phoenix out. So now we have another treasure map up here. The question on this other treasure map is going to be, do I want to burn a treasure to flip this a turn sooner? I think I do. With that happening, I don't think I do. I think because I have to burn 2 treasures to negate here, I no longer want to flip this sooner. So I'm just going to go to my upkeep here and flip this during my upkeep. Hey, the Skinny Kuma. Thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. And the scary part here is my opponents missed a bunch of land drops. So, like, their hand is 6 spells right now. So, like, there's a good chance they have more goodies hiding up there. That being said, I am going to get to play this Hellkite and, like, attack for a good chunk of damage here, so let's just go ahead and do this, and then attack for 8. We have them dead in 3, but I do probably need to find one more piece of interaction this game. Yeah, hopefully we don't die this turn, and then next turn I get a scry, a draw step, and a draw from the treasurer. And, like, hopefully that's enough to bridge me into winning the game. But there's a chance that that's not enough to bridge me into winning the game, and, like, they're just gonna have too much going on. Especially if they have, like, fogs and stuff like that in their deck. Would really like a Sarkhan or a Jaya here to, like, cycle through the garbage. Alright, it's a good draw. Nexus is literally standard eggs. That is 110% what it is. There is not a meaningful reason to play this out, right? I think I'd rather just hold it, because if I draw a Sarkhan or a Jaya, it's fodder to cycle through. There was a doorbell upstairs. Get the door, you madman. Nope. We just moved into a nice neighborhood. The package can sit up there until Matt leaves later. And again, just like we won the match, but like the one game that we lost was so tedious and painful that like it feels like a negative experience overall, even though I won the match, because the games we won were so not memorable and the game we lost was so miserable that it's just like, well, why were we doing what we did? All right, blue-red Jaya. Normally I do 2 decks of the day when I do long streams like this. This deck is definitely going to be one of my decks of the day. I really liked what we had going on here. I had low expectations going in, and we definitely exceeded them. This is like a blue-red dragon style deck. Niv-Mizzet is still just this incredibly powerful card, and I think so many people have been so caught up on Esper since we got these new lands that people have forgotten about Niv-Mizzet, and this card is just genuinely good. Jaya Ballard was also good in a number of situations. Like, her and Sarkhan just churn through the crap like no other card can. 26 lands might look like a lot on the surface, but with cards like Jaya and Sarkhan, they turn those lands into useful spells once you get your stuff going, especially with Treasure Map and Search for Azcanta filtering as well. So even though we're playing a lot of lands in our deck, we don't actually flood out that often because we have a lot of card selection to go along with them. We had more than one game where we had, like, Jaya on 4 or 5 into Niv the following turn and just, like, plush Jaya to Lightning Bolt something and draw 3 cards. Just, like, super, super fantastic. No, there isn't a replacement for Sarkhan in this deck. Sarkhan is uniquely powerful, and this deck is not functional without him. I think if you want to play a Niv-Mizzet deck without Sarkhan, I would recommend you look at the Jeskai control deck that you can find on my website, jeffhoagland.com. But if you wanted to play straight blue-red, Sarkhans are not optional. I think Jaya is more optional than Sarkhan in this deck. I know I originally built this deck as a Jaya Ballard build-around, and I think she is useful, and I would keep playing at least 2 of her, probably 3, honestly, just because she filters through the extras. This card is very good and not optional. Skarrgan Hellkite and Niv-Mizzet getting these cards sooner is very fantastic. All right, what are we doing? We've got a couple of Naya tokens decks coming up. All right, someone don't need to cut this next one in after the Jaya Ballard build around, so let's do that. Naya tokens. Is this Naya tokens or is Naya hero? One of these I think was a hero deck. This is a hero deck. I actually think this deck looks really sweet.
It does look sweet.
Like, there's a lot of just, like, genuinely good Magic cards in here.
They're whole bombs.
Yeah, I think Fight with Fire could be a reasonable consideration. I think like getting 2 copies of that in that deck is probably not unreasonable. Seems like a powerful card that's worth exploring.
Alright, you know this upstairs while you're tweeting.
How does this blue-red deck compare to the straight Grixis Dragons deck? That's a good question. I feel like I liked the blue-red deck better than Grixis Dragons, but it's been a hot second since we played Grixis Dragons, so I really like the look of this deck. This deck looks really sweet. I hate that the deck editor doesn't remember where I put my cards now. That's really incredibly annoying. Previously, the deck editor would remember where I would move things when I would go back and forth between screens, and this one does not. Perfect, Dannon. Sounds great. Ganesh. I don't know what that card does offhand, so I'm going to say probably not.